Welcome to the Reflection Show. My name is Ramsey Rizard. You never go to the mirror scripted, you always go unscripted. And today I got a unique story for you. I mean, this individual, she's not just a business owner, she's a mother, she's a wife, she's a successful woman doing successful things in business. Ladies and gentlemen, right here on the show, I have the one and only Danielle Osborne. Hey Danielle, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm feeling good. Did I wake you up?
You did. You did. You did.
So Danielle, it's a pleasure to have you on the show and just to have some conversation about, your victories, your adversities, but there's a unique story behind who you are. I mean, you got a very successful business. I want you to talk about that because most people don't know your story. They see you in public, they shake your hands, they laugh at you, you have girlfriend talk, but there's a deeper story from a young girl from Brooklyn. To share with us the journey of how everything began as you became a business owner in the jewelry business.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
We started in the business, me and my husband, 15 years ago, but it goes way beyond that. My father and his uncle and his brother started in the Diamond District in Manhattan in the 70s. So what they would do is they'd polish, drill, and clean all the diamonds for the major diamond houses in Manhattan. They had some out-of-state clients, but most of the people were in that 3-block radius of the Diamond District.
Wow.
So they've been doing that for 40 years. They did that for 20 years. And then added gold and bullion to it, buying scrap gold. And around about 2009, my father decided that he was gonna retire. I generally do that in air quotes because older Jamaican man, retirement is his version of it.
It's rare.
It's rare. We're not actually retiring. And my husband and I were just finishing our bachelor's degrees in business, and we're kind of like, okay, what are we going to do with this? And Dad said, I want to open a space in Atlanta.
Wow.
And that's where Atlanta Gold and Silver was born. And we spent 8 years in Midtown.
It's interesting because sometimes children have a hard time taking on the legacy of a family business because they feel like they need to create their own identity. What were some of the battles mentally that you dealt with, or maybe you didn't have any battles? Maybe it was an easy transition for you. What made you say yes to the call? Because even with your husband, Andre, coming into the picture, right? Embracing that with him having his degree as well. What made it easy for you guys to say yes?
Be honest, I ran from the family business.
Really?
I didn't want to do it. It wasn't in what I wanted to do in life. All I knew is because we lived here, but he was always there. So all I really paid attention to, like I know what you did, but you weren't here as much as I would have liked you to be. But that's part of it, being an entrepreneur. Atlanta doesn't have a diamond district. The diamond district can only be where it is. It's one of one. There are very few other places in the world like it. So when we graduated, it was like, well, let's try it. Let's try it. The impulsiveness of it. And we haven't looked back.
That trying led to you all building a beautiful legacy right here in the city of Atlanta. So as a woman in business, of course, there are a lot of adversities that you had to overcome to define your role and your position in the jewelry business. What was that like for you?
When you're the child, there's always that, I'm gonna let you, but I don't think you're ready. I'm gonna let you, and we're gonna grow. And then when he was ready, Dad was like, okay, you're ready. You can do this. And he stays close in the background. So when I need him,
yeah, he pulls in.
He pulls in.
Do you ever need him?
Always. Excuse me. I will say there are some things that you just can't get around. Business knowledge. For him, my father's been looking at diamonds for 40 years. So when I see a stone or a ring that I have questions on, the first person I want to talk to is my father. Because there's an art to looking into diamonds. You're not just going to pick up a loop, which is what they use to look into stones, and see everything.
Wait, break that down for me, because you know who's fake and who's real.
For the most part, yes. The industry has evolved a lot, and you rely a lot on specific machines to give you the clarifying information to make sure you're actually looking at what you think you are. But there are little nuances in diamonds that if you don't see it, it will cost you everything.
What's the most that you've seen somebody spend money on when it came to a diamond?
Diamond, let's see.
Because you got a lot of people walking around with these watches that they say have a lot of diamonds, and I'm pretty sure you look over your shoulders and you're like, yeah,
That's not it.
that's not it.
I learned to keep my comments to myself because nobody wants to hear that. Probably, maybe on the center stone, maybe 80,000. It can get it to the six figures. It all depends. And in the jewelry space, everything is how much do you want to spend? Because your budget is your limit. If your budget is limitless, there's nothing we can't get. There's nothing we can't find.
I like that. Your budget is your limit. So I like to break down. I'm very weird when I hear certain like unique things such as how the process of a diamond comes into value. How would you break down the process of when you look at a diamond and you're getting ready to sell it to the buyer? How would you correlate that to someone's life when they're going through hard times? How would you help define to motivate them with that process?
In hard times can be a couple of things. So if you're investing in a stone and you actually purchase something that is investment grade, this is going to be part of your portfolio in the future. So if hard times come, if the diamond was bought correctly and it was in the investment grade space, that is a tangible asset. For the emotions of it all, diamonds, you can't break a diamond. So if you're buying this for your wife or your soon-to-be wife, a birthday present, a Mother's Day gift, you're basically giving someone a tangible thing that will express how you feel about them. My love for you is hard as a diamond, and it's not going to break. And because jewelry, for the most part, until you get into the investment space, you're indulging in this. You are buying the emotions of it all and how I express my emotions to the person that I love and care about.
The reason I'm silent because you said a diamond cannot be broken. But it takes a lot for a diamond to go through the process to become the value that it is. But when it reaches its peak, its definition, it cannot be broken.
Maybe buy another diamond. You might be able to chip the side of it, but you're not going to find a harder substance in the space that we're talking about. Diamonds are as hard as they come.
And you're a mother. How do you balance business and being a mother and being a wife?
A lot of help. a lot of
help those on the other side. What do you mean?
So I call them my village, my army, my little mini army. My mother and my mother-in-law, I don't know if I would have survived motherhood thus far without those two women. They are everything. And outside of them, my husband always gives me the side eye. I have 4 friends. I call them my wives. Whenever we say that out in public, people kind of look at my husband like, how does your wife have wives? But they're more than friends. They're the people I call when I have an emergency and someone's going to drop everything they're doing to come help me. When I need advice on being a mother, because some of them have been mothers longer than me, they're going to give me the honesty of it. They love my children like they're their own. They'll do anything for them as I would do anything for their children. And all of that help allows me to begin to find that work-life balance, because wearing 3 different hats, wife, mother, entrepreneur, sleep is not something you come by easily. But a village can begin to give you that balance.
I like that. Say that again. A village what?
A village can begin to give you the balance you're seeking.
Because you have a lot of women in business who are drowning.
Yes.
But they won't tell anybody they're drowning because they want to upkeep a look towards society without realizing that society really don't care about how you look. What they care about is how you're functioning in this world. So what advice could you give to that person who's drowning and they need to find that village like you found to create the balance as a mother, as a wife, and as an entrepreneur?
Look at the people that you've already surrounded yourself with. Talking to someone, I found that if I talk to the people that surround me, I found out I'm not by myself. Everybody's going through the same thing. No, my house has not been cleaned in a week, and that is okay.
Say that again. You got to say that again for the people in the back, Danielle. Say it again.
My house has not been cleaned in a week, and that is okay. My kids are healthy. My family is happy. We are functioning, and I will get to it. We can't major in the minors.
So as your kids were growing up, and of course business is up and down, when you were crying those tears, how did you find strength within yourself to say, okay, Danielle, I can do this?
Honestly, my kids, because it is the most amazing thing. You may not do something for yourself, but if you see not inaction affecting your children, there is no mountain I won't move for my kids. And when the tears dry up, because crying is actually releasing something, it's a good thing.
Say that again for somebody who need to hear that. Ooh.
Crying is releasing that energy, the pent up energy. You take that big, and you feel better. And now it's like, okay, we're gonna stand up and we're gonna go figure this out, because my children are not going to feel this.
Right.
If action is going to help me get there.
So when I think of you and I look at, what you've done and the conversations we've had in the back, I simply think of a woman who's discovered what it truly means to depend on not just the village, but depend on the ability of what you've invested in as far as your growth and who you are. What are some of the process you have taken from a day-by-day event in business that helps you to see clearly, that helps you to really find those, or really define those great success at the end of the day? What are some of those things in the process that you do?
Sometimes, if the fact that you got to the end of the day is a success in and of itself. If we can get to the end of the day,
right,
we've survived. Tomorrow will be better than today. Tomorrow we will try and do better than we did today. A better decision tomorrow can come. And the knowledge that I've gained today will help me make those better decisions for tomorrow.
Wow. And your husband plays a very intricate part in the business and plays an intricate part in the marriage. What is that like to see your husband support you and wanting to see you win in your own identity and your own strength in this world of entrepreneurship?
There's nothing like it. I tell people my husband is my biggest cheerleader. He believes in me before I believe in myself. He will push me, and he will tell anybody that. And I always tell people, when you're looking for that spouse, you need someone that is going to cheer louder for you than anything in life. And they want it more for you than you want it for yourself, because that'll help push you into the next stage.
They say love in business is hard. How do you guys balance love in business? They say a husband and a wife struggle to literally be together. What is that like for you guys? What is that method that you all use together to create a synergy to be successful in what you do as a married couple?
We came to the conclusion probably year 2 or 3 that the emotions of the house stay on the other side of the threshold when we walk into work.
Say it again. The emotions
of the house stay on the other side of the threshold when we walk into work.
Come on.
Because you find really quickly that if we're not talking, we're not doing business, we're not making money, and how is that going to help anybody? When we walk back across that threshold, we can pick back up the problems that we didn't get to finish dealing with once we're done work for the day. Because it's not just our household that is supported by this business. It's my parents' household that is supported by this business, because it's a generational business.
Wow.
Like, there are more mouths to feed than just the 2 of us and our kids. Make this work.
Wow. You guys found a unique way of saying to each other, like, hey, put our emotions aside. Let's not make this personal. Let's make this business when we reach a certain time frame that's amazing.
It's hard. It's hard, but it can be done.
It can be done.
Absolutely.
So as we get ready to close the show, Danielle, there is somebody on the other side of that mirror, a younger version of yourself, that is in the process of motherhood or becoming a mother, that's in the process of being a wife or becoming a wife, or that's in the process of learning how to risk to live the life of an entrepreneur. What advice could you give the younger version of Danielle that's looking in that mirror right there?
I would tell Danielle to give yourself some grace. The mistakes that you've made are making you stronger. And taking the time to reflect on those mistakes and making better decisions tomorrow is going to do so many things for you. Rely on the people around you. Don't bottle up your emotions. They're there to help you. The people that are truly there in your corner are there to help you, and they will. Just rely on that and trust in it. And remember that God has you at all times. And don't wait until you're in your late 20s to realize He has not left you. He's never let you fall, and you're still breathing today. So that's one more chance to make a better decision today to get it right.
Grace, community, trust the process. You heard it right here on The Reflection Show with the one and only Danielle Osborne. Thank you so much for watching The Reflection Show. This is Ramsey Rizard. And remember, your experience matters.
So it burns like a fire.